Hey y'all, welcome back for another Alliance War video of Season 28. This is War number 6. Poseidon is going up against RDG17. And this season's matchmaking has been so all over the place, I don't get it. This is like the third time we are being matched against a Platinum 3 Alliance from last season, which is a bit of a mismatch. It's been a mismatch every time in the previous matchmakings, and I think this one will be again. It's not a fair matchup when you take an alliance who has lower prestige, lower war rating, and finished Platinum 3 last season. You put them up against an alliance that finished Platinum 1 on the verge of Masters. So I don't quite get the matchmaking. It seems off, but there's the team. Warlock, MoleGOD, and Magneto, House of X. That's going to be our team today. We've got a relatively short war coming at you. We've only got 4 fights. And we're going path 4 in section 1, so we've just got the void there. That's our only fight in section 1, pretty straightforward. And we're going to stay on path 4 through section 2, where we're going to take the Invisible Woman and the Black Widow Clairvoyant up there. Both are 5 stars, I believe, which again, that's the biggest difference. In these mismatches, you just see a lot more 5-star opponents as defenders. And then our final fight is going to be against the SpiderGwen mini boss there. And we have the Terrax boss, which is pretty common. But their map wasn't too difficult. Like I said, a lot of 5-star defenders. The placements weren't super complicated, and we felt very confident going into this war, which was good because we come in at 2-3 on the season now, 2 wins, 3 losses. So we needed a win, and the matchmaking is definitely in our favor to get that 3rd win, get us back to 500. So ideally, we can get back to 3-3 after this war and start stacking some wins together, because we have not been able to do that this season. It's been a very, very rough, odd season, I would say, for our alliance. But we'll look at the first fight here, the Void. We'll show you the buffs, or the boosts we're going to throw on. Nothing too special, it's just the attack and health boosts, pretty standard for war. And we get these so frequently now. There's no concern wasting these, so we just freely use them whenever we are taking a war fight. And we're going to use Moleman for this fight, and he's just going to purify every debuff we get applied to us. So the long distance relationship, heal block, and all the debuffs that voids apply, they're just going to be consumed and purified by Moleman's ability. So we basically have nothing to worry about on this fight at all. It's just fire away and slap him around, and hopefully insult to injury never should kick in, because we should never have any debuffs on us as long as we're purifying them. But it is a 6-star rank 3 void, so this was one of the tougher defenders on their map. But you can see we just purified the heal block debuff. We get the weakness from being close, we purify that, we no longer have that on us. We missed that parry there. He's about to apply a debuff to us. We got it. We're just going to consume it. There it goes. Apparently I felt like taking a combo to the face and a special 2. So yeah, that happened. That is just clearly a lack of skill and competency from any MCOC player. So please excuse it. We survive. Moleman is super beefy and super tanky, so we can take the hits to the face and walk away still with 50% of our health and take him down. Fortunately, being able to purify all those debuffs is just such a nice benefit for Moleman. He makes Void an absolute joke and turns that node into nothing. So well done. Thank you, MoleGOD, as always. But that's our only fight in section 1, fortunately, and that's going to move us into section 2, where we will use Moleman again here against this Invisible Woman. She's on the steady build-up unblockable node, and she's a 5-star at rank 5, so I wasn't too concerned about this fight. Again, same thing as last fight, we're just going to purify and consume any debuffs she applies to us, and in that way, she should never be unblockable for this fight. But she does stack a lot of debuffs, and she stacks them very quickly, and there is a slight delay for Moleman to be purifying them. So they don't happen instantaneously, they fall off one at a time. So there is a scenario here where she does go unblockable, and I'm not really aware of it. So that's why I'm playing a little cagey right now, kind of cat and mouse, just because I didn't want to make that mistake and let her hit me while she's unblockable for like a split second. And right now we're just trying to bait out a special 2, which she doesn't really want to throw, so we're going to keep our frenzy up as long as we can. We obviously have to make sure not to hit her while she's invisible, otherwise we're going to miss. Fortunately, we get to our special 2 while we're still in our frenzy, and she drops just like that. Not really a scary fight, a little sketchy, but that may have been just because of me and my playstyle there. So we get the full attack bonus, we walk away after 24 hits, and feeling pretty good, although that was, again, certainly not a perfect fight. Okay, so last fight in Section 2, this is a Black Widow Clairvoyant. This is why we brought in Warlock, just for this fight. And she's on the steady build-up, unblockable, crumbling armor node. And with Warlock, it's not a big deal. We're going to be permanently heal block as well, but she's only a 5-star rank 5 again. And because Warlock is immune to the bleeds that she's going to try to apply, we should never get 3 debuffs on us. There's really no way for us to get 3 debuffs on us in this fight, even if crumbling armor kicks in and gives us that second one along with the heal block. So, pretty basic fight here. She's going to be gaining power a little faster because when she fails to apply a debuff due to an immunity, she's going to get a little burst of power. Right there you can see the power gain she gets. That along with Mystic Dispersion, when I purify the dexterity buff that I get, she's just going to be gaining power a little faster than most champions. That's the only thing to be cognizant of here. I can bait the special 1 or 2. I don't really care. The special 1 is probably a little better just because she doesn't gain any ground on us. And the special 2 is a very, very long animation. She can back you up with it. Fortunately, we are keeping her infected and using the special 1 to power drain her. So that's basically just to counteract her power gain that she's getting from failing to apply debuffs to us. That's basically the whole purpose behind it. But you can see that she can be annoying here. It's probably the best place for her on defense, I would say. I don't know if there's really a better place for Black Widow Clairvoyant. Not a great defender by any means, but she can be irritating here. We're going to go for a special 2 here to end it. I just didn't feel like baiting more specials from her, so we get to the special 2, take her down, and yeah, pretty easy fight as long as you can play it with any competency whatsoever. So here we go. We get through Section 1 and 2 without any deaths again, which is great. It's going to take us to our last fight of the war up here, which is going to be against a SpiderGwen. And she's another 5-star rank 5, so this was a pretty easy war from us from a power level perspective. We really didn't have a lot of difficult fights. That Void was the highest ranked, and he obviously dropped pretty quickly without any serious problems. But SpiderGwen is a pretty easy defender here because we are going to have the White Magneto guidance pre-fight placed, which is fantastic. It just eliminates Limber, so we don't have to worry about the Limber node. We do have to worry about Spry. She can still evade us, but we're just going to basically parry in heavy and only attack into her when she's stunned, and that way she will not be able to avoid us or evade us. But Warlock is who we're going to use. The best defense, Brute Force, Spry, Limber, I just explained it. The Brute Force node is the only one to really worry about. Just we don't want to get that degen timer on us. It does tick for a lot, so we're just trying to avoid that. If we can do that, this should be a pretty easy fight. So there's the parry, you see the passive stun, we get the heavy attack, we get the bleed. With that passive stun, we can get a medium and a heavy in while she's stunned, and she won't evade us. So that's what we're going to be doing most of the time. We can bait her special 1 or 2. I don't find either one of them particularly challenging or difficult to evade. We're going to wait until we get to a special 2 and then throw it. There's the big damage. Pretty good. We're 30 seconds in, she's down to 50% health. So all is going according to plan so far. She has not evaded us. She's being aggressive, so we don't have to worry about the degen timer coming onto us and ticking us down. But she does get a little passive right here. We had the degen on us for a split second, but the special 2 comes pretty close to ending it, and now we know we're in the clear here. There's really no way to lose this fight. One more parry stun, and there she goes. About a minute fight for a mini-boss. Not too bad, pretty straightforward, and that finishes off our war with no deaths, which is always a great feeling. Always good to see that full attack bonus in the finish. Only took 37 hits, so it was nice. Here's BG3's results. Like I said, this was a mismatch. We cleared with no deaths, so BG3 gets the bagel. They obviously died several times to us. But this was a great performance on our side. Even against a mismatched alliance, you're still going up against tough defenders and tough nodes. So getting that 0 death clear really felt good. credit to our opponents. You know, they did all they could here. They cleared, or they were in the process of clearing. I think they did clear by the time war was over, which is good for them. They get more points, but yeah, we just have the firepower here, and unfortunately, they actually did not end up clearing the entire map. So we got the win here pretty convincingly, as we thought we would. But this is just not a good look for the game to have this kind of matchup take place. I don't understand why. I mean, it's probably no fun for them, and to be honest, it's not that it's not a challenge for us. It's still a challenge, but I mean, it's just clear. It's just clearly a mismatch when this happens. So, like I said, credit to RDG17. I'm sure they did all they could, but given the mismatch, it's just kind of ridiculous to expect them to be able to compete if they're ranked that much lower. So hopefully they can fix this as the season wraps up here. We are now done with half the season. We're 3-3, which is fine. It's not great. Hopefully we can improve, stack some wins, and go from here. Thanks for watching. See ya.